excited to finish all the books which are on my shelf and I have not read them yet, because I'm super excited to buy some new books. And in case you have not watched my previous video where I was talking about it, how I'm actually strictly following a book buying ban and why I'm doing that, you should definitely go and check it out. So the very first book which I have is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I'm sure this book does not require any kind of an introduction. This book is all over the Instagram, like literally all over the Instagram, and I truly have a bad experience with hype books, but I really want to like read this book and see how it is, because I've literally heard good things about this book. Next book on my TBR is I Am Malala. Again, a book which does not require any kind of an introduction. I'll tell you people that I started with this book in 2020 only. I got it in 2020 and I started in 2020 only, but I dropped it because it was quite boring, and I talked with other people and they said the same thing, that the history and everything which is there in this book is quite boring, but other than that the book is really great. So I really do not want to drop this book completely. I really want to read it because really I have heard good things about this book, and I do not want to miss out on reading something great just because it is boring in some parts. So I'm going to give it a second try. I only read 20 to 30 pages before like when I read this book, so I'm not judging this book with just 20 to 30 pages. I'm going to give this book a second try, and this try is going to be in 2021. Next book which I have is Mossad. It is actually a collection of stories, and it is something about war, something about mission and something like that. I really do not have any idea. I recently got to know that this is a collection of stories and not a story in itself. So it's actually based on like true mission and they are all real. So I don't know, I'm quite skeptical about reading this book because I kind of like to watch such stuff like in the form of movie or series, but I'm not sure whether I'll be able to read it. But still, since this book is on my shelf since a long time, I really want to add this to my list of 2021. The next book which I have is Vardhan, which is written by Prem Chand. So there was this time in 2020 when I just got interested in reading Hindi books, and that was the time when I got this book for myself. And after that I did not read. Like maybe I must have read like 2 to 3 pages of this book, then I dropped it because I got interested in other books. And so I really want to read this book because I really do not want to waste my money by buying books and then not reading them. Even if I don't like it, I may drop it, but I at least want to read it to actually see whether I'm interested in it or not. In case I'm not interested in reading this book and I really decide to drop it, I'm going to unhaul or sell my books to someone else who might be interested in reading them, rather than keeping it to myself and not reading them at all. Next book which I have is The Tree with 1,000 Apples. Now I have heard so many good reviews about this book. This book is something about Kashmir. I really don't know the exact plot right now, and I love such books. It is definitely a very emotional book, and I personally love, or I prefer reading such books rather than reading something cliched and something like that. So this is a book I am highly excited to read in 2021, and I just cannot wait to read this book. In case you have read any of the books I'm going to discuss in this video, let me know what you feel about those books. I would really like to know. Next book which we have is My Lovely Wife, and I have only read like 2 thrillers, hardly 2 thrillers, but I love reading psychological thrillers. Okay, so now I have only read The Silent Patient and The Girl on the Train, but I really want to read more psychological thrillers. Like they are just maybe my guilty pleasure because obviously they are too disturbing, but still I just like them. So okay, I don't want to be a regular reader of psychological thrillers, but here and there I really want to read. So this one I got when one of the bookstagrammers was actually unhauling her books, and I got it. So definitely it is a second-hand copy, and I just cannot wait to read it. Like whatever is written there and everything, it sounds so thrilling, and I really hope that it does not disappoint me. And also I don't have too many expectations from psychological thrillers because I'm a very new reader to this genre. So here we go. Next book is Atomic Habits, and oh, like so many people, especially people who are into non-fiction, they have talked so much about this, and trust me, I really started reading this book. I have even finished the first chapter of this book, but then I dropped it because, see, first of all, I started reading this book in 2020 and I just got motivated, and then this happened. So in 2021, the reason why I challenged myself to read one non-fiction every month is because of this only, that I really want to read non-fiction. And so maybe in one of the months I'm going to read this book, maybe next month only, if I don't have any non-fiction, which I clearly do not have many. So maybe in the next month, or maybe in any month of this 2021, I'm going to read Atomic Habits, because I've really heard good things about this book. And even when I read the first chapter, it was really great. Like, it was really great. So I really do not want to miss out on reading this book. The next book which you have is The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, and I got this book again from one of the bookstagrammers when she was unhauling her books. So you know, I like taking second-hand books if there is this book I want to read, and if I'm getting that book on an affordable price, I take it, because I don't mind second-hand books. And so I got it. I have heard so much about this book. Next book which I have is Because Life is a Gift by Disha. I don't know anything about this author. I don't know why I even purchased this book. You know, I'm so guilty today for my impulsive buying of books, which I don't do, but I did it like shamelessly in 2020. And this is definitely the result of impulsive buying. I just got this book because of the title, like Because Life is a Gift. It's actually a collection of some stories inspired from real life people who kind of, you know, conquered all the challenges which they had, like some issues which they had, and they did something great in their field. It is about that, because I read first chapter, so I know, and then I dropped it because I was just not interested in such stuff. I was more interested in reading fiction. So I have this book like since so many months. I'm going to read this maybe, otherwise I'm just going to sell it. Next book which I have is Till the Last Breath by Durjoy Datta. I'm not a Durjoy Datta fan, and I have not even read any of his books. This is the very first book, and I don't know why I even got this. Again, impulsive buying. Maybe I got it because I just kind of wanted to try how he writes. So I got this book, and recently I had a discussion with one of my followers where she was kind of telling me that he writes good stuff. So let's just see. I don't have any expectations, and I'm also not undervaluing any author in this case. So let's just see how it goes. This is my very first book by Durjoy Datta. Next book which we have, and I don't know why this book was sitting for so long, like And the Mountains Echoed by Khaled Hosseini. Like, this is the last book which I have of Khaled Hosseini. I have read all the 3 books. For someone who does not know, Khaled Hosseini actually has like 4 books. 3 books are majorly like talked about, and one is like Sea Prayers, which is not exactly a novel, but it's a very short book. And this is the last book which I have, and oh my god, like I really want him to write more books because I'm just done with all his books. I don't reread books, to be honest, but I like want some new books from him. And the book is actually basically, I don't know what the book is about, but there are like brothers, like brother and sister. The story is somewhat about brother and sister, and I'm pretty sure that even though I don't have any real brother, this book is still going to make me cry. Because you know, this is the thing with Khaled Hosseini's book, like even if you have never experienced, even if you cannot relate to what is written, you still feel for the characters. This is the best thing about Khaled Hosseini. And I'm sure, like, I'm just going to read this book very, very, very soon. Second last book which we have is Stories We Never Tell by Savi Sharma. So again, the result of an impulsive book buying, and I don't know why I got it. Like, it's her recent release. I have read, I won't lie, but I have read Everyone Is a Secret. No, sorry, Everyone Has a Story and Everyone Has a Story too. I have read both her books, and I won't say that I completely enjoyed reading, but also I did not hate, like in between, because I personally liked how she kind of, you know, weaves her stories. But you know, if I talk about some like uniqueness or something like predictability, there is nothing of that sort. Like there is nothing unique or nothing, you know, extraordinary in her books. But you know, the way the storylines, the words, how she weaves it all, this kind of like attracted me. And to be honest, I'm not even sure about it if this book will do the same magic on me, because when I read Everyone Has a Story and Everyone Has a Story Too, because when I actually read Everyone Has a Story and Everyone Has a Story Too, I was a very new reader. I was not knowing about great books like Khaled Hosseini and some amazing authors out there, and also like I was not knowing anything about, like, you know, how books should be written and things like that. So maybe because of that reason also, I kind of liked her writing style. And so I have this book, and recently I posted about this book that I want to unhaul, but no one actually took this book. So that clearly shows that no one is interested in taking this book. Rest of the books, mostly people took it because they were quite popular, good books and things like that. And so let's see, I'm hoping to really at least not like, but at least go through this without like losing my peace of mind. Let's see. The last book which we have is Elif by Paulo Coelho, and I have read some books by Paulo Coelho. Obviously the first book being The Alchemist. I have read some more books by him, not every book, but like 3 or 4 I have read after Alchemist, and this one I got as a gift on my birthday last year, and I have not read this book after that, because you know, even though like once you get into his books, like his books are quite interesting, you kind of, you know, feel engaged, but you need some motivation to start with his books. I don't know if that's the case with everyone or not, but I feel the same, because you know, there is so much of philosophy, Christianity and stuff like that. At least in the other books it was the case, and I don't know if that is the case with this book as well. So I'm really hoping that I like this book as well, because I really liked his other books. Okay, so that's not it, because I recently realized that I also have 2 books on my Kindle. One of them is Animal Farm, which I recently downloaded because it was for 0 rupees. It was completely free, and I also notified my audience on my Instagram about this, that the book is for free and you people can download it. So if you're not following me on my Instagram, you're really missing out on a great fun. I'm daily active on my Instagram stories as well as on my feed, with posts, with reels, with videos. So definitely go ahead and give a follow to me at @books with Sakshi. Next book which I purchased on Kindle, I don't know why I purchased, but it was very cheap, maybe because that's why I purchased. It was of 42 rupees only, and the book is The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. I've heard so much about his books, but this is the book which so many people have talked about, and I really wanted to know what the book is about. I have no idea, literally. Maybe it's a collection of essays or something like that. I really don't have any idea. So this is again another book which is short. I don't personally prefer reading on Kindle, but since the book is really short, I purchased this book as a Kindle edition. So yes, that's it. That was my TBR for 2021, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then definitely hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new to my channel. Also follow me on my Instagram in case you're not following me yet. Let me know in the comments below which book you're most excited to read, or how many books are there in your TBR, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, take care.